Thank you. Thank you. This month, we are doing a series on universal laws and principles. And we know that these universal laws and principles are designed to help the children of God unfold their godlike self, right? They're here to support us and help us maintain what we're here to do. Have we ever thought of the laws like that? Yes. We thought that they were just laws. So they're really here to support us. And so if we think about the energy of laws, we've been talking about divine order and harmony and giving and receiving and abundance. And if you just close your eyes for a minute, you can just feel the flow of energy of the laws working. Remember, these are automatic laws that we're talking about, and they're working all the time, whether we're aware of that or not. Okay, so just feel that the energy of the laws are always moving to support us. Today we're going to talk about the law of vacuum. So the universe does not like a vacuum. Okay, there's energy that is established in all spaces must be refilled. There can be no voids. So when a space is created in your field, this law will operate, creating an empty space to be filled with like energy. All voids will be filled with the same energy as before. So the universe is in balance and like a homeostasis. Everything needs to be filled and balanced. There are not any spaces. So if there is a space created, the universe will automatically refill it with like energy. Isn't that great? We'll always get the same thing back. It's like, it's from nothing is ever lost in the universe. So if you think you lost something, you can rest on the law knowing that the universe will bring it back to me. Isn't that helpful? Have you ever lost like a necklace or fishing lure or something for guys, and then all of a sudden someone might bring you a new one. Or you find something that's similar energy. If we can relax and trust in the law that if something has been released from our field, it will be given back to us if we want. Okay? So that's good. And it's to help us keep our energy the same. And this is really evident when you're trying to clean out a garage. And you clean out the garage and like a month later, it's replaced with the exact same stuff. And you don't know how it got there. Or a closet. You clean out your closet and they get junked up as well. I mean, things that you really love get put back in there. And the same thing with relationships. If you've ever been in a relationship and the relationship ended, either by your choice or not your choice, you might find the next person seems totally wonderful, and then all of a sudden you realize it's the same person, only with a different face. And that's a good thing, because if you have... Some people are relating more than others. But that's a good thing, because what if you move and you have your best friend and you have friends and you move to another place? You'll know that you'll fill the void that you're carrying in your energy field with another best friend, someone that has similar energies. Your friends will have similar energies because that energy was in your field, and the universe is replacing your field with like energy. So see how good that is? So now we know the law, right? Think refill. When there's a space created, whether you let something go or you purposely remove something that you hung on to, that the universe will replace it with like energy. So now that we know the law, now we know how to enact it for our choice. So in order to have something new in our life and not have that same old thing that keeps popping up, we set intention. And intention is the key to the universe, right? So we set our intention of what we want to refill the space with. And we know when we set our intention to change one thing one thing changes everything in our life, doesn't it? So we recently cleaned out our closets, and it took a long time, and I started in our, with our clothes and everything, and we moved clothes from our closet to the upstairs closet, and then we got our coats out of the other closet in the other room, and then cleaned the closet in the hall closet for those coats. One thing leads to another. You just don't clean a closet because it brings you all over the house. So I have this, what I call my magic closet, and in this closet was baskets of gift bags and tissue and ribbon and pretty stationery and maybe a bag of gifts that I've picked up that make great gifts, and envelopes and luggage and winter coats and stuff for my sons, and a variety of things that were in this closet. So it was the point to start cleaning out that closet. And so I'm ready to release stuff because I'm ready to change. I'm doing it because I know I need to change. So John is doing it with me. And men and women organize differently. Yeah. So I have everything sticking in pretty baskets, but this basket is really too big for all the stuff I was releasing. So he said, well, this will fit, I can tell, by my spatial thinking, that all this will just fit in this box and you can cover it up and stick it on the shelf. And I went, okay, now the box was a pretty box he was putting it in. And so tissue goes with bags, and put your ribbon and tags in another box, and this, very logical. I'm like, yes, that makes sense. And I started just kind of walking around the room, just kind of going like this. And he goes, darling, are you mad at me? And I said, no, I just know that it's changing. I've had stuff in that basket probably for 12 years. That's how I went and got things. And I know we're creating a void, and I'm just not sure how I want things to be yet. So I know it's changing, and it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. Okay, let's do that. So we finished organizing. You all have a magic closet, don't you? Like that?
Oh, yeah.
And then the stuff got organized and put on the shelf in an orderly manner down to the other end. And we finished doing everything, and you could actually walk in the closet and get to everything. And we found some fun stuff and other stuff we want to release. And I really felt a big movement through my body. I had to, in that time where I'm trying to figure out how to reorganize everything and what am I going to do, it was like this pressure was building up, and I had to go, okay, I'm good now. Sure, let's put it in the box. And because obviously there were some patterns, stuff in our closet holds patterns that we're holding. It's not just a closet, unfortunately. So we finished. And we finished all the stuff. Everything felt good. So I went, okay, now we have to go set our intention in each closet. So we have to go pray in the closet. And he went, really? I went, yeah. Okay. So you might be asking, how do you pray and set an intention in the closet? So we went to each closet in where our clothes were in our bedroom, and we did incense, cleared the energy, and we hold hands, prayed, gave thanks for everything we had, and we asked that the intention of the closet, that it hold clothes that we love, that support us on our journey, that it support our expression as we go out in the world. That's a good intention, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so then we go to the next closet, and we pray and set our intention in each closet that the space that we've created now brings an energy that supports us on a higher level. That we now have things that serve us in our next adventure, that serve us on our journey, instead of stuff that's just been cluttering because we didn't know what to do with. So, doesn't that sound like fun?
Yeah.
Have you guys prayed in the closet before? You're all going to go home and do that. All right. So just think of that change and shift that we've created on a physical level. It affects every part of us, because we're holding patterns in our field. So if we talk about what is our field, the definition is when a space is created in your field, this law will operate, causing empty space to be filled with like energy. So our field is the energy that we're holding in our sphere of influence. Our field is in our work, in our job. Our field is our relationship with people. Our field is our physical body. It's in our consciousness. So when a space is created in anything that involves us, the universe will replace it with like energy. If we think about even when Tuesday nights we're doing yoga, and Katie will say, okay, we're going to set our intention for the class. Because in yoga you're creating space in your body. You're creating a void. You're stretching, and you want to set your intention to fill that space with something other than what you've been holding. Have you ever thought about stretching as creating space in your body? When you're stretching, you're creating space between the vertebrae. And instead of being frustrated because we can't stretch the way we want, she tells us to accept where we are and fill that space with love. Fill that space with beauty. Fill that space with your divine purpose. We're creating a space within our own body. Because we need to set our intention, or else the tension will refill. Because that's the pattern we're holding. Even when we breathe. When we breathe, ideally we're designed to breathe with our belly. And our belly should fall forward and our diaphragm pull down, which creates a void, which creates a space in our body where air immediately rushes in, and breathing should not be an effort. It's a law, physical science law, our body. You expand the space, you're creating a space, the energy will flow in, filling it. And so, but we don't really breathe like that, do we? We breathe very shallowly with our chest, and we're trying to create space with our rib cage to take in air. But if we can relax and know how our body's designed to expand our space and allow it to be refilled, it can be very easy. We just have to retrain the pattern how we've been breathing. So I want everybody to just close their eyes and just let your belly fall open, fall forward. Imagine your diaphragm pulling down, and just allow new air to move through and expand. And exhale. And just very gently, again, just allow your diaphragm to be pulled down, your belly fall forward, and allow the air to flow through. And you can almost feel a change in your energy field just by doing that, can you? By setting your intention, you're creating a change within your body like that. By filling that void, allowing new air to come in instead of breathing that same old stale air. Because our consciousness, in our consciousness, our thoughts and beliefs take up space. Can you think of how much space your beliefs take up in your body and your consciousness? How much space your thoughts take up in your mind? And how much we think the same things over and over again? And how we have the same physical ailments over and over again? Healing is replacing a lower level of consciousness with a higher level of consciousness. And there has to be a space created for healing to occur. or else we just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Jesus would ask, would you be healed? Would you be healed? The question would create a space for people to think differently. Because how often do we just complain about what we have, our ailments? They're taking up our time and our energy and our consciousness, aren't they? If you have a pain. And so if someone asks you, would you be healed? There's a new choice put into your consciousness. Let me think about, would I be healed? Yes. Yes opens a space for something different to happen. And then, with a word or touch, the belief would be replaced with light and a higher level of consciousness. And the person would be healed. And then Jesus would say, go and sin no more. Which means choose something different. That's all it means. Stop doing what you've been doing and allow this new energy. A space was just created for a higher energy to flow through you. And now you can go through, and if you don't keep creating that space for the energy to flow, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Because it's a law, right? That energy is going to be refilled if we didn't set our intention to maintain that. Are you all with me? Everybody take a breath. And so the key to choosing something new would be to use meditation. And in meditation is creating a space. Meditation is creating a space for God to flow in your life, isn't it? And how many of us are very, very busy and have to carve out time for meditation? Carve out time. Our time is so packed with our patterns and so full that we can't choose anything new. We can't choose anything new. So if we say how much we have to carve out time, sometimes you have to carve out time for a relationship or carve out time. Can you see how physical it actually is? And to create a space, let me carve out some time to see you. I'm going to carve out some time for God. So if we carve out some time for meditation, we're creating a space. And if we don't honor that time, what happens? It gets immediately filled up with busyness. How many of us said, oh yeah, I got to get up and meditate. Well, first I'm going to do the dishes and make the bed. Oh, wait a minute, let me call that person. Let me check my email, and then I'm going to meditate. If we don't choose with that intention, then it gets filled. Just like that space on your desk that gets cleared and then it gets full. Just like the closet that gets cleared and then gets full. Just like your day, you think you have the day off and it gets full. We really need to work with the light in creating space. We work with the light in creating a space within our body, within our consciousness, and with our physical space. And why is it so hard to carve out space for meditation? We're carving out space so that we can feel God's love and God's wisdom. Because what's in God's energy? Everything. Everything good for us. But yet sometimes we don't. We get busy. So if we use meditation, we first can actually create a space in our house. Do you all have a space in your house for meditation or a certain chair? Maybe there's that chair that's designated for meditation. Okay, that's going to be my meditation chair. That space. Set my intention for meditation. And maybe you set your intention because you're going to put a candle now next to that chair Now I'm really going to meditate because I'm going to light my candle and sit and meditate. And now I'm going to put a crystal over there because I'm filling the space. I'm filling the space and trying to fill it differently than throwing clothes on the chair. And I know we all are busy and we all have things to do, and because it's a law. This vacuum is keeping us the same. So we really have to choose, set our intention to do something different. And so when you sit to meditate, you can sit and try and meditate, but if you don't set your intention to create a space for God, what happens? It's the same thoughts over and over. Have you all sat down and just the thoughts just keep going, keep going, keep going? And you go, okay, well, I sat. I'll try again tomorrow. If we think about, let me visualize a space now, a physical space, imagined space, for light to come through. For light to come through and break the patterns that I'm holding in my everyday, then I can choose something different. Because that's how we get different ideas, is from spirit. If we sit down and meditate and we just think, we're thinking with our limited mind, which is going to create the same stuff that we've always created. And so by creating a space, imagined, and picture light coming in. And you're creating a space to feel God's love, light, wisdom, everything that you've already chosen on your life purpose is in there. Then you can see and know how to do something new. Doesn't it? Do we all do that already? Or is that a kind of a different way to think about sitting down to meditate? Instead of just trying to still the mind, maybe create a space and set your intention. So maybe that will help. Sometimes we get, when there's a space, we might not know what to fill it with. We might get overwhelmed with possibilities. What if I have an empty room and I could put in it whatever I wanted? How many people would be comfortable sitting in an empty room? Raise your hand. With nothing around it. A few people. We like our stuff to feel comfortable. Interesting. So we have so much patterns that we're holding, and we really need to create space to make something new. So if we get overwhelmed with choices and overwhelmed with the possibilities, or we're not sure what we can have, why we can have it, and then maybe the same old reasons come up of why you haven't ever had it yet, why you can't do it. We get the space of possibility starts getting closed down. So if you come to that, if you start cleaning, if you start meditating, if you start a space of opportunity has opened up for your career or business, you might be in overwhelm. And so you can just ask that the light of the Christ hold that space. Fill that space with the Christ energy, with love, with joy, and let it hold that space till you make your decision. And let it hold it for your highest good. I'm creating a space that's going to be for my highest good, and I'm not exactly sure what that is yet, but I'm not going to throw junk in it. We always have that stuff that we don't know what to do with, and you've just cleaned out the garage, and you have something and you don't know where to put it, and I guess I'll put it back in the garage. We have to deal with that resistance of putting stuff back into that space and allowing it to grow and cultivate for our highest good. Okay, everybody breathe. So are we ready to meditate? Okay. All right, just close your eyes. And just picture a column of light coming over where you are. And feel the space that you're taking up. Feel your energy. And I want you to see Jesus Christ by your side. And I want you to take his hand and lift up this column of light. And just lift up a little higher where you can just take a look at your life. Now, is there anything different that you can choose for your life right now? It can be as simple as organizing a closet, or healing a relationship, or creating a new career. And just look at what's cluttering your energy and why it's not happening. What are the repetitive thoughts and actions that you're doing that keep you from your goal? What's vibrating in your field, keeping you from this choice? And if you can't see it or feel it, that's okay. It doesn't have to make sense, whatever you feel or see. And just thank whatever it is that's been holding you there. It's part of you. And just thank it. Now just ask the Christ, what is one thing I can literally or symbolically change and choose for me right now? And whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And just ask the Christ to fill that space with the energy for your highest good. Ask that the light of the Christ hold a space for you. And fill that with love and joy, compassion. Let it be waiting for you till you have chosen. And know that everything will be drawn to it that will support you in your choice to create something new in your world, in your life. And just take a nice deep breath and thank the Christ. And come back down holding Jesus' hand. And just feel your gratitude for the patterns that you do hold, all the good that you draw to yourself, and gratitude for your being here right now. And just take a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes. Could you all see something that you could clear away, that you could use that space to house something that's greater for your soul?
Yeah.
Did anybody get overwhelmed and didn't know what to do with that? And then you asked the Christ to hold that light for you. Did that make you feel better? It's preparing for you. Okay, great. So Spirit just wanted me to show you how the laws work at every level. It works in our physical environment, in our relationships, in our homes, in our bodies, in our cells, and in our consciousness, that these laws are always working to support whatever we want. So hopefully you can go out this week and recognize the law and choose to enact the law if you wish. So it is.